Hello guys, welcome to Eternos Academy. I am Eternos and it is my mission to make spirituality and mysticism accessible to the world. And in order for me to do that, I need to provide simple solutions to common problems that people like us may have. And today I'm excited because I'm finally going to be teaching you guys how to fly. I'm referring to both astrally and spiritually. I'm not going to call this an advanced class because it's actually very, very simple. And I was taught this in a realm by a little girl who was young. It took me some time to master it, but I want to share how it used to work for me. So back when I had some of my first outer body experiences, let me move this board a bit closer. I had a bit of an issue. For some of you who may not necessarily have had these yet, just think about dreams, okay? Because in your dreams, you're still using your same astral body. So don't feel like you can't relate to this. Here's an issue that I used to have, right? I remember the first ever out of body experience that I had, and it was in college. What happened was, I think I've spoken about this in a video previously, but I was in my room, time shifted, spirit came into the room when we started having a conversation. I then left, was translated to a realm or a plane that resembled India, and there were other mystics and people like me around. And there was actually a lesson going on because there was a guy teaching, but I was so excited at the fact that I was, finally out of body and this and that I just jumped around and attempted to fly. What happened was, right, and let's call this line through the middle that I avoid the floor. I would jump and then come back, and then jump and then come back, and then jump and come back, jump and then come back, etc., etc. After that, I came back to my body. I don't know what it is, but I've always had a fascination with flying in general. And so this is just a bit of a fun lesson to help out. Given that a being actually came and helped me refine this skill, I want to share what she shared with me, which is very simple. And also, some of you may be asking why this is useful. Sometimes in the spirit, you may get sent on like rescue missions, or you just want to have fun. Both are okay. But for example, for me, I've used flying when it comes to rescue missions. I've been sent on rescue missions before where I've had to help children who are in certain places that need to come out. And so it's been easy for me to engage and get them out of these situations just because of this. But when you delve into these two things, it'll become a lot more simple and straightforward. But here's how it works. I don't want this to be too much of a long video. In the body, in our physical bodies, we're trained to view the world through physics. And so when we look at jet engines, we're thinking of how do we emit enough force to then fly and do all these different things, right? But in other realms, it works a lot different. I know you will have heard people say that things work by thought. This is true when it comes to these other realms, right? You think and then you do things. But for me, I had strong will, and I was thinking, I want to fly. And so I jump and start to fly, but there was always, a cap on it or a capacity. And so thought isn't enough. Energy isn't enough. You need to understand your anatomy. Now in the spirit, this is easier. But when it comes to in the astral body, I want you guys to understand, okay? You guys know you have energy centers. Crown, heart, you've got the root, you've got the first eye, the throat, you've got the sacral, you've got the solar plexus, whatever you want to call it. All of that's irrelevant. The only one that matters, right now anyway, is the heart. This little girl came to me and said that if you want to master flight, you need to learn how to fly using your heart. For me, it clicked because during meditation and the times that I've spent over the years in meditation and working on this heart center, I'm aware of the energy that is present there. The heart chakra is also my most dominant chakra. And so something that I used to practice a lot was sitting and breathing and feeling that energy in that center really ruminate. And so I was familiar with the act of feeling the energy that's flowing within my heart. Also, when I interact with people on a daily basis, and sometimes even when I wake up, my capacity for love, as it increases, I feel my heart more and more, okay? So she told me to use my heart. And so what I did was I stood there and I started to engage my heart and I felt the power surge and then I let it lift me up. And then I had complete control. And then I can fly, I can move, I can operate and navigate at will. Now, yes, I'm talking about flying, but this isn't the only lesson that I've had about engaging the heart. I was also taught in the spirit about translocation. And translocation is the ability to teleport. Okay. Now, what happened was I was at an airport in this experience, and I remember thinking, oh, I need to get to this point. And I was told audibly that the secret, the first step to being able to travel to another place like that in the spirit, and I also believe physically, is by holding the other place in your heart. This is what I was told. You have to have enough love for that place to be able to then quantumly leap and travel there instantly. And so it is for this reason that I believe that this heart center is the key to effortless travel in the spirit. Now, I imagine you can use other centers, but, you know, I imagine you probably use the crown. A lot of people use remote viewing with the eye, but the heart is what I have been taught primarily. It's a good center, good basis, be led by love. Now, I understand that everyone is designed differently. And so for you, when you enter into the spirit and you want to do this, you may be taught it in a different way. They may tell you to use your crown. They may tell you to use a different energy source completely. You may get taught to use the Merkaba, for example, the light vehicle that exists around the soul that rotates and rotates and rotates, right? It's about your framework, but I believe that this can be a key for someone. And so I wanted to just share this. If you are someone who is an empath or you feel with your heart, you can actually tune into that sense and use it in the astral realm, astral planes and in the spirit planes to navigate. For those of you who are wondering, and I think it's right that I also include this, how do I begin to sense more of my heart? Here's a practice that you can do, all right? Sit down, breathe, relax. And begin to focus your energy and just place your attention in your heart. And the more you do this, you'll then begin to feel a little bit of build-up and a warmth. The more you engage this, the more your capacity for your heart will then begin to grow. And what I like to do is I like to focus on source. And I say, I'm in you, you're in me, we are one. And I feel the connection. And you'll feel your heart begin to grow more and more and more. And the energy will begin to build. Okay, but that was just a quick tutorial or a quick little key, spiritual key, whatever you want to call it, on how to fly.